The night Egypt tried to silence a generation, the Nile ran quietly through the city of power. Pharaoh's decree was clear. Every Hebrew boy must die. It was meant to erase a future that threatened his throne. But somewhere in that fear-filled land, a young mother whispered prayers over her newborn son. She wrapped him in faith, placed him in a basket woven with hope, and laid him gently on the river that had already claimed so many. Every wave carried a question. God, will you really protect him? That basket didn't drift by chance. It floated straight into the hands of Pharaoh's daughter. The same empire that tried to destroy him became the one that raised him. When God plans your life, even your enemies become part of your protection. Moses grew in a palace that never accepted him. He was too Hebrew to be Egyptian, too Egyptian to be Hebrew. A prince by title, but a stranger in his own story. One day, his hidden anger surfaced. He saw an Egyptian beating a Hebrew slave and couldn't watch injustice one more moment. He killed the man and buried him in the sand, hoping the desert would keep his secret. But secrets in the sand always surface when the wind blows. Fear found him. Shame chained him. He fled the empire he once called home and vanished into the wilderness. 40 years passed. 40 years of silence, exile, and forgotten dreams. He had once believed he was chosen, but now he believed he was finished. He traded a staff of power for a shepherd's stick. And every night, as the sheep slept, Moses wondered if God had stopped speaking or if he had just stopped listening. The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. Exodus 14:14. Sometimes the greatest fight is to keep believing when heaven goes quiet.
Years passed, and the man who once lived in Pharaoh's palace now wandered the desert with nothing but his thoughts. But what Moses didn't know was that silence was God's classroom. It happened on an ordinary day, the kind you almost sleepwalk through. Moses was guiding his flock across the desert when he saw something impossible, a bush that burned but did not burn out, fire without smoke, flames that did not consume, light that did not destroy. He turned aside. That single decision to turn aside became the doorway to destiny. Most people miss their miracle because they never stopped to look. A voice broke through the fire. "Moses, Moses." And he answered, "Here I am." Then came words that would change everything. "Take off your sandals, for the place where you stand is holy ground." God was not speaking from a throne this time, but from the dust. Holiness had stepped into the ordinary. "Moses, I have seen the suffering of my people. I have heard their cries. I am sending you to bring them out." Moses looked around as if there might be another shepherd nearby. "Who am I that I should go to Pharaoh?" But heaven never asks for who you are. It calls out who you're meant to be. God answered, "I will be with you." That promise has outlived empires. When God says, "I will be with you," every weakness becomes a weapon. Still, Moses doubted. He said, "What if they don't believe me?" So God told him to throw his staff to the ground. The moment it left his hand, it turned into a serpent. Then God said, "Now pick it up by the tail." Faith is always tested in the moment between letting go in reaching again. When Moses obeyed, the serpent became a staff once more, this time no longer just a shepherd's stick, but a sign of divine power. Yet even then, Moses whispered one more fear. "But Lord, I am not eloquent. I am slow of speech." And God replied with the question that silences every excuse. Who gave man his mouth? In that desert conversation, fire met fear and purpose was born. God wasn't looking for perfection, he was looking for surrender. So Moses gathered his courage, kissed his family goodbye, and began the walk back to the empire that had once hunted him. He carried nothing but a staff and a word from God, yet that was more than enough. If this story touched your heart today, don't scroll yet. Take a deep breath and remember, the same God who spoke to Moses in the fire is still speaking through your silence. I'd love to hear what part of this story reminded you that God is still with you. Share it in the comments. You're safe here. No judgment, only faith. And if you haven't yet, subscribe and stay with us on this journey. Part 2 of this story will move you even deeper.